Good morning everybody, my name's John and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the WLToys 144001, the 124018 and the 124019 because they all have the same steering setup and problems. Now I've had two people in the past week comment on steering problems and how to straighten up the wheels, so I thought that I would show you the 4 most common problems with these cars and show you how to fix them. So number 1 is the easiest to solve, and that is when the wheels are not straight like this. I know that there's some people out there that are much more advanced than this, but there are people new to the hobby and that's who this is for. So on your controller you have throttle trim and steering trim. The throttle is to obviously increase speed, decrease, make sure that it's in dead center. But on the steering one, look here, watch the wheels. I turn and they straighten up. Okay, so that's number 1 and the easiest by far to fix. Now let me set up for number 2. Okay, welcome to number 2. Number 2 is this problem. If you look, we are completely in the center for the steering trim. So even if I try to straighten it up, even if I try to straighten it up, see the wheels are not straight, and that's all the way to one side. I can go all the way the other way, but not there. And what you need to do is if you put your steering trim back to the center, turn it off for now. What it is on the steering servo arm, this one here, it's not centered. Okay, so I prefer to, you can adjust the bar here, but I prefer to actually just center the servo correctly. So you have 1, 2, 3 screws here, and that's just to remove the plastic side panel. Comes off very easily. There we go. And you see you have very good access to the servo now. So just take the screw out. Now, once you pop off this arm from the servo, there we go. Put the car down, make sure the wheels are straight. Turn the car on, make sure the trim's in the center, which it is. Okay, so now we know that the servo is in exactly the center. If I show you now, if I play with the steering trim button, you'll see that the servo turns. So it's important that you put it back to the center. There we go. Now, what you do, line the wheels up completely straight, and then connect the servo arm back onto the servo. And before I put, oh, you see I'm actually slightly off that. So take it off, straighten it up, put it on again. Slightly off on one side, okay, because it must be in the center. So now if you see with the servo, by twisting that. So now that you can straighten up your steering perfectly, turn off both, put the screw back into the servo, like so, and then put the plastic guard back on. Good. Last one's in there. That was handy. There you go. That's number 2. Let me get set up for number 3 now. Okay, number 3 is the very common problem, to be honest with you, is when the front wheels are not pointing in the same direction. This cannot be fixed by trim because they will still not be pointing in the correct direction. It can be fixed by turning one of these two bars. It has to be the steering arm and not this one here. It has to be the one that's connected to the steering. And what you need to do is, let me just make sure that I'm doing it in the right direction. You can actually see on the thread, you see which direction to go in. So I believe I have to go downwards. So let's do it so you can see for the first time. There's a little hole there. I've just got my tweezers here. It's probably going to pop off the ball joint. But all you do is twist it down and around. See that? Nice and simple. Down and around. Let's do it around a little bit more. Down. Oh, I told you it was going to pop off at some point. Then you just hold it down and around. Ooh. Down. Ooh, and around. Let's see where we are. There you go, much better. Probably one more turn. Let me see if I can hold that. One more, I reckon. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Down and around. There we go. Sorry about that, drilling next door. So that was number 3. I'm going to move on quickly now. On to number 4. Number 4. We're actually a couple of hours later. You can tell that I've changed clothes. It's now much later in the day because the drilling continued from earlier to a point where it was constant. And you can hear that they're still outside. I don't know what they're doing to the building next door, but I assume it's going to fall down at some point. Anyway, moving swiftly on, ladies and gents. Number 4, again, is a pretty common one, so I think it's worthwhile telling you all. I turn on the controller and the car. Now, if you see when the car is up in the air, steering's brilliant, lovely. Watch this, when I put it down, see how it becomes a lot more sluggish and lethargic, and if I put any pressure on it, now look what happens. Now you won't be steering at all. So people are thinking, oh no, my servo's broken. Oh no, the ESC and all. No, watch this. If I put the wheel and lock the wheel at the side, look at this little thing here. See how it's turning? See how that V is showing up? If I bring it, actually, I'll bring the camera down rather than take the car up. Watch here. The little V in there. See, it keeps on showing. If I do it at that angle, there you go. This one here. You see how the steering is not turning at all. And what it is because in here there's a little spring. This little spring causes this lower section to be either taut or not so taut the other way. And it pushes them together. The whole thing is designed to stop the car snapping its steering every time you land funny or crack the front in any way. So it's actually designed to split apart like this. You see how I'm like showing that V again now? It's designed to do that. But when it's down this low, unfortunately, it's not doing a very good job, as you see. Now it's just the steering arm turning, but not the actual steering itself. So the way to fix it is to take this column off and to tighten that up. You can try and tighten it up in situ, but you will never get it tight enough. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. If the drilling starts again, then I'm just going to have to turn the sound off on the video when editing and just put some lovely music over. Okay, but I will start by telling you need to take 1, 2, 3, 4 screws off, and at least this one here. On my one, I've got the modified one in, but your one will just be a normal screw again. So let's get on with it quickly. Please don't start drilling again. On this one, this screw is a bit too tight on my one, so I'm going to have to undo it from below, which will be this one here. Does the same thing. And if one of them is turning back and forth, just put a screwdriver there, for example, and then undo here. So there's that one. Need these two. The whole day. I'm going to shut up now. So now you see I've got that out of the way. Both of these arms unpop now, as you see. And now we can get to the actual offending thing. Now you just tighten it up like so. Don't over tighten it. If you do it all the way up, then it will be too tight and you won't have any protection against the whole thing it was designed for. So just give it a quick turn like so. I'm going to give it a little bit more. You're going to just have to do this by feel. There is no set way, but try and do it. I don't know what that would be. Let's have a look on my measuring scale down here. About 4 millimeters. 4 millimeters. And then you just put it back together. So. I'm just going to leave this off for a second so that we can actually see it working again. So turn it back on, back to strong. You see it's now back to the strong again. If you hold it all the way down, it will give way a little bit here. It's supposed to do that, but you see that it's actually trying this time. But look at that. Absolutely brilliant. So make sure that you do that one as well if your steering is not very strong. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is that easy, and that's 4 quick tips to help you guys out. Please hit that like button if I've helped you out at all. It does show me that I'm doing something right, so it takes you a few seconds but means a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel as well, obviously, and hit that notification bell so you get alerted about future videos. And I wish you all a fantastic day today. Come off, you stupid. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.